Fleshies. One second. How are you, Fleshies? Are you having a good day? Or maybe your day is just a little bit miserable. Let me know in the comments below, won't you? At any rate, today's live should be an interesting one. I hope. Not very many of you on today, I can see. Hopefully that changes. Or I might have to pick a new time. Fleshies. Are you scared to come in? I hope not. Maybe I need to string bait. At any rate, I have my friend with me today. Actually, he's been here for the last several weeks. Do you like my face? I figured it was time you got to see behind the mask. The thumbnail got my good side. If there is a good side. Today we're diving into my Fleshy Writer stories and which ones in my book made the list and which ones didn't. Hello, Fleshy. Welcome to my mausoleum. Thank you. Are you new? Are you new to the mausoleum? I mean, the boneyard? Good. Have you read any of the story? Have you? Of course, you can't read. Not on YouTube. Have you listened to any of the stories? Or did you just pop in? Do you like scary stories or semi-scary stories? I won't say that they're all scary, but you're going to get a preview of It's just not my day. You're going to get a preview today. Yesterday was my Fleshy Writer's birthday. And the So to celebrate, sorry, not the best views. Trying to keep the illusion is hard. So, my fleshy writer is one day closer to the grave. Wish him a happy birthday for me, would you? He is now 102. Oops. I'm not going to give out his real age. Not on YouTube, anyway. He wanted me to give you something you might enjoy. I told him I couldn't show that on YouTube. YouTube doesn't like violence. And he said, ha ha, funny. Instead, I suggested to him that I give you my favorite stories. And he said that would be appropriate. I told him I'd share Ladyfingers with you, and he's again reminded me about no violence. So instead, here I am. Some of these stories made me show my real smile to Charlie, and I think it may have been too much for him and his ticker. So, what do you think? Should we dive right into my favorite stories? Maybe you should grab your snacks, a nice bowl of ladyfingers, your blankets, and pull up your tombstone as we delve into my favorite stories. I guess this is a good time to tell you that this list of stories is not in any particular order. Now I have to tell you that The Phantom Wolf is one of my favorites. And I know some of you think so as well. Why do I like it? Come on, who doesn't love a good story about a dog? Even if that dog is already passed on. It certainly has a little bit of a bite to it. You can look it up, as well as all of the stories, on the channel's community page. And if you haven't done it yet, subscribe. Sorry, the light's not staying on. The next story The next story is Can I Have a Ride? It's the third story on the channel, and it's also the second ghost story. I think my fleshy writer likes ghost stories. It's the second story in the mix that was inspired by an actual legend or two. Who hasn't heard of a tale of a hitchhiking spirit? I know I have. Then again, maybe I've hitchhiked a couple of times as a ghost. The next story is one that broke some of you, I think. And it would be Broken. Broken storyline is about a little girl who haunts the doll given to her by her father when she was sick. Some of you were scared to listen to the story because of the thumbnail, but honestly, the ghost in the story will steal your heart. Don't tell me your heart's never been stolen a time or two. It's okay to admit. The next story of Charlie's that I like is one called Cursed. It follows a vampire who has had it with the undead life. He seeks a promised cure that sadly wasn't a cure as much as it caused destruction. But I loved it. The real question is, what do you think? The next story is the one and only one, and it's the story about a werewolf attacking the people of Port Stall. For a time, it was a mystery as to who the werewolf was, but in the end, well, you'll have to listen to it to find out who it is. The next story is one called Ageless Secrets, and it features two characters, Kelly and Nathaniel. Nathaniel is the one with the secret, and trust me when I say sometimes opposites really do attract. And in this story, you can't get more opposites than Nathaniel and Kelly. It would be like mixing oil and water. I don't know if that makes sense or not, fleshies. That's better. Like the one and only one, the Halloween Mask. Oops. That's odd. I got lost for a second. Drowning was one of the stories that Charlie wrote that, if you really look into it, will chill you to the bones. It's not just the water that'll make you cold. I smiled when I read this story, but I won't give anything away. not when you can listen to it yourself. Though I will say, the little boy in the story made me feel very blue. Although maybe he was reflecting into whatever is left of my soul. Good. I'm sorry you have to go. But I'm glad you were here. Language teeth? See you in the next one, Fleshy. Have a good day. I have to check something real quick, Fleshies. Give me a second. Have you read The Halloween Mask? Charlie was able to write a story about a creature who comes out on Halloween and wears a mask. Just like the mask you see in the thumbnail. Man, I love Charlie's creatures. Especially when they get you when you're not expecting it. In Laid to Rest, Charlie introduces us to Lydia. And from the minute he handed it to me, I fell in love. It's a beautiful story of a woman who was laid to rest a little bit early, but I promise you, it may be one of his stories that'll make you smile too. I promise you, it'll make you smile. Jumped Up is one of those stories that starts with an accident. Aiden was unlucky, but we are lucky because Charlie wrote this story. And it's all about a cadaver who decided that sitting still wasn't for him. It Will Happen is another of my favorite stories. It's about a creature and a curse. An uncle and a nephew. Something Charlie can relate to. But this one really hops around, and the creature is one of my favorite creatures as well. Hiding is another one of my favorites. Don't you love it when a rude fleshy gets a taste of their own nastiness? I think that's why I love the baddie in the story so much, is he really sticks it to the fleshies. I want to take a break and do something a little different. First of all, the stories that I selected, the audience seemed to really like. The One and Only One, is one that really grabbed your attention. The Halloween Mask and Hiding didn't get a lot of viewers, but those of you who did were stuck to it. And Can I Have a Ride and Broken seem to have hooked you from the get-go. Those are my favorite stories. The ones that hook you in, hook, line, and sinker, and leave you wanting more. Peril is another of my favorites. Something about playing a game like this would be so much fun. Don't you think, fleshies? Imagine being turned to stone. That would make you appreciate being a fleshie, don't you think? Another of my favorites is Elders. I think it comes from being around Charlie too much. There's a certain environmentalism in it. It's a combination of ancient cryptids and ghosts. Another of my favorites is his ending. It's about a dead man who misses his students and jobs so much that he rises from the slab to return to work. Crying, do you hear it? Starts a little slow, but this one ends with two people who are changed forever by the sounds of a baby crying. Another of my favorites, already read that. When Charlie wrote Tarnished, he looked at me and said that this one could make us or break us. I think it's one that he truly was afraid to put up. But he did. And I, for one, am glad he did. At any rate, those are the stories that come with the scribe's stamp of approval, the ones that made me smile when I read them. From the moment Charlie lifted his pencil, I can only hope he writes them better in the future. Who knows? Maybe someday he'll be another Poe. At any rate, do you have a favorite Charlie story? If you do, tell me why you love it or why you hate it. Coming up next week, we're going to talk about what movies have added to the lore of monsters. Since no one else is here, fleshies, I'm going to let you go. See you in the next one, fleshies. Don't forget to put your tombstones back when you leave. Goodbye, fleshies. Pleasant nightmares.